Yo, this is me, Mike, Ringmaster of the Imagination Circus, and I'm here to bring you some entertainment in the form of this hat. Now, I know I've done the hat pull before, but what we're going to be doing today is I'm going to be pulling two names out of the hat at a time throughout the video. I shall then determine who, between the two, would win in a fight, and what their chances overall of winning a fight between the two are. Now, not all of the people in this hat know how to fight, but that just makes it more interesting. Then, of course, I'll determine whether or not these people would work as a couple, if they'd last, how long they'd last, whether they'd only be able to have a one-night stand, or if they just wouldn't be able to be together in any capacity, romantic or sexual otherwise. Now, shall we begin? I think we shall. This should be fun. I think it'll be very fun. I'm doing this very, very randomly. Don't know who I'm gonna pull out, but okay. This is what I get for writing in silver. You can't see it, but I wrote one of these down in silver ink, and it makes it really hard to see, but okay, I just got the most random. You know, I gotta be honest, when I thought about this, I don't think I realized the chances for just very random alignments, but I got Tinkerbell and the T-800. Well, a T-800. Obviously, it wasn't Uncle Bob. I have a separate piece of paper written with Uncle Bob, aka the T-800 from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. However, with Tinkerbell, you could basically go with any version of her. With a fight between these two, I'm not exactly sure who would win. To be fair, you couldn't really call it a fight. I mean, Tinkerbell can fight. She certainly got a fiery attitude for it, but, to be honest, I was gonna say that with these fights, you know, the win condition isn't necessary to kill, it's just beating your opponent. What that means can be up to you. Maybe it is death. Maybe the win condition is death as far as you're concerned. But in this case, I think it has to be, just because, you know, I don't know what other win condition you could have. I don't think, here's the thing, I'm giving the Terminator about a 25% chance of winning this, and here's why. Tinkerbell is such a small target that trying to hit her otherwise would be too difficult. And yes, the Terminator could probably target her pretty well, being he's got an advanced supercomputer for a brain, at least in microchip form. But the fact of the matter is that he's too slow and lumbering. I mean, yes, the T-800 is surprisingly fast, but not fast enough to catch Tinkerbell, I'm willing to wager. As such, I give Tinkerbell the win. Here's the scenario I think would occur. I think she would literally use pixie dust to lift him. Yes, that's not technically how pixie dust is supposed to work in most of the stories, but in most of the adaptations they ignore that rule and just have it lift whatever the hell she wants it to lift. So I'm willing to say that she uses the pixie dust to lift the Terminator off the ground, lift it to a really, really high height, and then just drops it, and that's the end. As for whether these two would work out in a relationship, I'm going to say no, unless you want to go with it. But I'm going to be honest, I don't know how that would work, and, I mean, if you're into that, but, really, maybe if you were going with the Julia Roberts version of Tinkerbell from Hook, who apparently can grow to a larger size, although apparently that was just something she wished for so she could be with Peter, so it's all very confusing. I don't know, it's up to you, but I'm going to give it a hard pass on any sexual or romantic activities. You guys can think otherwise, and I think Tinkerbell would win with let's see, I gave the Terminator 25% chance, so let's say, 75% chance of success on Tinkerbell's part. Tinkerbell is the winner. Didn't think that was how this was going to start out, but I should have known. I should know I'm going to get some seriously random results going through these. Let's go. What's our second fight or whatever going to look like? The characters we have are Loki, that's Marvel's Loki. Okay, not a bad way to start this one. And Hera Syndulla from Star Wars Rebels. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. Between these two characters, I kind of want Hera to win. However, yeah, in this case, this is hard. This is hard. But yeah. I'm going to say, God, this is difficult. I guess I have to give it to Loki, because, like, maybe Hera would have a chance. I'm going to give it a slightly more even chance, because Hera is a clever character. And Loki has been tricked before and beaten, granted, usually by raw strength.
Enough! You are all of you beneath me. I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
Puny god.
But let's say about a 62% chance. No, I'll increase that. Let's go with 67. Yeah, 67% chance for Loki. Again, part of me almost wants Hera to win. As much as I like Loki, I think I kind of like Hera more. But to be fair, she is an attractive alien who flies around in a spaceship, pilots said spaceship, and despite not being the leader of their group, does tend to be the one who bosses everybody around. I'm showing my hand here about what I'm into too much. But the point is, Loki, unfortunately, he definitely wins this one. I can't see a logical scenario where Hera just outright beats him. You guys might have some differing thoughts about that, but I can't think of it. As for these two hooking up, again, it's another maybe, but I'm going to give it their chance of hooking up is better than Tinkerbell and the T-800s, I'll give you that much. How that works out, let's say that Hera is feeling really needy and really needs some physical company, if you know what I mean. And Loki, being, I imagine, a kinky kind of guy, and a charming guy, we all know how charming he is, let's say that he's got a pretty good chance, and, they have a one-night stand. That's as simple as that. I can't believe I've decided. I thought this was a funny idea when I came up with it, and I only added the second part about the people. Again, I haven't granted about one-night stands and romantic relationships, but I'm beginning to think maybe that second part wasn't necessarily a good idea. Oh, yes. Anyway, third pull. Full hat pull. Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. I feel like I imagine certain fights being pulled out of this hat, but I am getting none of those. I am getting super random ones, Alright, who we got? Oh, hell. I just made that Witcher video, and I just pulled out a Witcher character. Dandelion Jaskier. He's also the first character on this list who has no fighting capabilities whatsoever. Seriously, dude is utterly useless. And the second one is Robin. Specifically, Batman's Robin. And I'm beginning to think maybe I should have been more specific, but then again, I kind of was. So, in this case, I'm referring to Damian Wayne Robin. And, in this case, unsupervised, and knowing Damian, he'd probably find Dandelion and or Jaskier very annoying. Maybe Jaskier could talk his way out of it and to sing him a song, but otherwise, and maybe if he was willing to hit him with the loot, maybe he'd have a chance, but no. Yeah. Wow, this one is, I'll give Jaskier about a 4% chance, and Damian Wayne about a 96% chance. Yeah, victory. As for sexual situations, all of the media I've seen with Damian Wayne, whether it be comics, animated shows, mostly animated shows, he hasn't been in anything else so far. He's a child, so yeah, that's a hard pass. So much of a hard pass. Nope. Anyway, Robin, aka Damian Wayne, wins. No questions asked. Let's move on, please. Yep, Anyway, let's go. Come on. So far, these have been very quick. I'm expecting something. Give me something a little bit more difficult to decide. Come on. I need a really hard one, something that's really gonna I don't know, something that's gonna really make me think when it comes to who would win. All right, come on. First is C-3PO. Oh, come on, that's not even. C-3PO, you know what? I think it was a mistake to put characters in here who can't fight, but you know what? I'm already in here, so I might as well. And Jean Arc from Ruby. I mean, Jean could definitely, like, you know what? Jean might be the weakest of the main characters in that show, but there are a decent number of characters I'd be willing to say he could beat on this list. 3PO is a guarantee, obviously, because I think a brisk breeze could literally beat 3PO. No offense, I like 3PO. I think he's hilarious. I think he's helpful. He's a little and you know what? I like 3PO, but man, he is not useful when it comes to combat. Seriously, he is easily knocked over. And more than likely, I can't even see these two fighting. Like, not like everybody else on this list, circumstances could align for them to come to blows. Like, I can imagine it for every one of these. C-3PO versus Jean Arc is not, that wouldn't go anywhere. That wouldn't, like, at least it wouldn't lead to a fight. Maybe in fact, I can honestly say 3PO tends to he either seems to be very, like, try to ingratiate himself to certain characters, or he tends to, like, you know, be very haughty towards them, very hoity-toity, very, very uppity. But there are those few characters where he, like, showed genuine respect, like Leia or Luke. Sometimes Han. I know him and Chewie actually get along. That's canonically true. But yeah, so it's kind of up in the air. But I think these two, instead of fighting, would just sit down, have a brisk conversation. While 3PO can't drink tea, he might be able to make it, and they could have, like, or like Jean could drink some tea, and they'd have a nice intellectual conversation. Jean, some of you who have watched Ruby might not think Jean is that intellectual, but nay, sir, the man is a strategist, and he is quite intelligent, and he can be quite funny. And something tells me having a conversation with a freaking robot he would be the least nervous he's ever been. He would be the least awkward he's ever been. And that's a little sad, but to be honest, I can sympathize and empathize with that, so let's move on. And seriously, either I need to put more fighting characters into the hat, or I need to take the ones who don't fight or just weren't compatible with this contest out. It's kind of amazing, really. Like, I am not scripting. I mean, I never script my videos, but I'm not even, like, planning this. I'm just, like, pulling random names out of this damn hat. Oh, here's a good one. Maze Hughes from Full Metal Alchemist. The one, spoilers for Full Metal Alchemist, you will cry regardless. How dare they, why did they have to animate that twice? I mean, come on. That's just not fair, man. Alright, who do we got? Come on, give me somebody good. Oh, okay. This is, okay, this one actually is kind of interesting to me. Finally, something interesting. Okay, we've got Maze Hughes versus Nightmare Moon from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Maze Hughes versus Nightmare Moon. Okay, I'm going to stay right off the bat. This might be the most even fight in here. And some of you might be thinking, if you're familiar, well, you know, if you're familiar with both characters, you're like, but wait, and some of you, like, might be thinking, wait, My Little Pony, but Maze Hughes doesn't have any, he's not even an alchemist. How could he stand a chance against Nightmare Moon? Well, here's the thing. Maze Hughes is actually not only a fairly competent combatant, we don't see a lot of it in the series, but man is a beast when it comes to knife throwing, and he does know how to use a gun, which is something, guns, I mean, they have cannons, but they do not technically have handguns, for obvious reasons, in Equestria. However, I think Hughes might have a better chance than you think. Again, Nightmare Moon, who shows a ray of abilities. Nightmare Moon, in her initial debut appearance, showed a ridiculously stupid list of abilities that we never see from, like, Luna later, or any other Alicorn for that matter. I think Hughes might have the best chance of, like this might be the most even fight so far, even though one of them has magic, because Nightmare Moon, as powerful as she is, and admittedly, she's not stupid. She's not that clever, but she's not stupid. But Hughes actually is fairly clever. Like, the reason he wasn't killed as fast, like, Hughes. Why do they have to kill him? I mean, point is, gosh darn it. He dies in both series, but before he does, he realizes that the person he's talking to is not Maria Ross, and he notices because there's no mole missing and she's acting a little weird, and he's clever enough to notice this. As she's pointing a gun in his face, really it's envy in disguise, and the point is, I think Hughes is clever enough that he might be able to, like, if Nightmare Moon can't see him, she can't try and kill him. And even when we've never seen her go straight for the kill. Well, except against Celestia, which says something about the character, I suppose. But point is, I think this is a lot more even than a lot of the other fights. However, I'm still giving the edge to Nightmare Moon. But I will say this is like, I'm gonna give this one a tie, but I will say that the overall percentage is that Nightmare Moon comes out on top with a whopping 52%. And nope, okay, you know what, I will admit, even I feel like that's a little too low. Let's go with 54%. No, let's go with 56. I'll give Nightmare Moon 56%. And Hughes, you know what? That's too low for Hughes. I am going bouncing back and forth. Let's go with, okay, fine. 55, 53. I'll give Nightmare Moon 53%, and I'll give Hughes 47% between the two. I think it would be a tie because I genuinely don't know who would win. Yes, Nightmare Moon is more powerful, physically potent, but I can see Hughes being clever enough to find an angle around this. Between the two, yes, he died because he couldn't kill his wife, or like because envy turned into his wife. I think if you'd given him a couple more seconds, he would have been able, given him more time, he would have been able to do it. I think he would have been able to pull the trigger. He wouldn't have been able to look at his wife again after that, but I think he would have eventually been able to pull the trigger. But, of course, envy didn't give it enough chance, and, well, okay, technically he didn't use a gun. We know he can. There's no way he can't use a gun, but his preferred weapon are throwing daggers, and he was about to take her out with it, temporarily, because, you know, homunculus. This is the most interesting fight we've gotten so far. No romantic or sexual situation, because Hughes would never cheat on his wife, and also, while I think, at least in this case, the species barrier would definitely get in the way. Because I also, like, Hughes, I feel like even if Nightmare Moon or Luna were interested in Hughes would politely decline because he's happily married to his wife. And also to begin with, I don't think Nightmare Moon or Luna would be attracted to him to begin with. So, there you go. But then again, Twilight was attracted to Flash Sentry. I don't like it, but it's basically canon. I don't like it, but... And then, of course, Sunset Shimmer did date him. Maybe it's not that the human thing. Maybe it's just a Flash Sentry thing. Maybe he has something going for him that makes him attractive to pony girls. I know someone's going to hate me for saying that. I don't know. I just find it amusing. But anyway, let's get on to the next bout, shall we? This is turning out to be way more funny than I thought it was going to be. I really should... I mean, comedy was half the reason I came up with this idea, but admittedly, I thought I would get some more epic fights out of it. Let's go. What do we got? We got two more. All right. Anyway, Shanks from One Piece. Okay. That's going to be interesting. And we have Brooke, also from One Piece. You know, I gotta be honest, I didn't think the chances of getting two characters from the same series was very high, but there you go. We have Brooke and Shanks from One Piece. I mean, some of you want me to immediately say Shanks would win, and he would. At least I think he probably would. Even though Brooke is way older than him. But Brooke is way older than most of the characters, with a few very distinct exceptions. Including all of the giants, but to be fair, they're giants. And then with the humans, like, really it's just Kureha, but still. He got to call Big Mom young lady, which is one of the most epic things to ever happen in One Piece. I am not kidding. Do not argue with me on this. Point is, Shanks would probably win, but I will say this. And I know more about Brooke as a fighter, and as such, I don't feel comfortable calling this an outright win for Shanks. Yes, that's not entirely true. That's not entirely true. I will say this. I'm giving the win to Shanks. However, I'm giving their percentages an even 50-50, and the reason is this. I cannot, in good conscience, based on what we know about Shanks' fighting ability right now, say that he has the higher percentage. Percentage and actual win is not the same thing in this contest, by the way. Obviously, if you don't know at this point. Point is, I'm giving the win to Shanks, but he's got just as much of a chance as Brooke, because with Brooke, I at least know Brooke's abilities. Shanks is powerful. Obviously, like stupidly powerful. He's one of the Yonko. But I do not know what he's actually capable of. We have seen very little of his actual fighting style. But yeah. If this doesn't make any sense to you, I'm sorry. This is the way I do things. Deal with it. As for a relationship, I mean, maybe if Shanks was into necrophilia, I mean, maybe when Brooks still had some flesh on his bones, but something tells me that his dating days are done. Anyway, let's get on to the next one. Let's not keep this video going too long, but I think the next one should be not the last one, but like let's say a handful more. Let's see. And the next two to fight are Maria Ross. Funnily enough, I mentioned her earlier in the video. I don't know much about her combat. I don't even, to be honest, I don't remember what her rank was either. Like before everything else that happened, and she was framed for Hughes's murder. And Bradford. That's Chris Bradford from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 2012 animated series that ran from 2012 to 2017 or 18 for 5 seasons. Chris Bradford, who's clearly a parody of Chuck Norris, gets turned into Dog Pound, and then Razor, or Razar, who's much cooler as Razar. You know, it's funny, I remember him being that Chuck Norris parody, and that did not last long. It was funny, mind you, for a number of reasons, but man, did that change quickly. Anyway, let's assume this is him in his final, most powerful form. Actually, you know what? Let's rank his chances in every given form. You know, from human to Dog Pound to scary skeleton wolf monster. Yeah, so let's see. Let's rank his chances against Maria Ross. Now, Maria Ross, unfortunately, because, like with the Shanks situation, I don't know her full capabilities, so I can't say that her chances are particularly high. I can't say her chances are particularly high because I don't know what her full capabilities are. She seemed fairly competent, but as for her actual combat abilities, I gotta be honest, I don't really have any full ideas of what she can do. As such, I have to say, I can't say her chances are great, but I will give her the benefit of the doubt in saying that while I think Bradford would win in the end, I'm gonna give him the definitive win because, well, yeah, I'll give him the definitive win, but in his initial Bradford form, if she kept herself at a distance and just, depending on how good her shots are, maybe she could kill him from a distance, but I'd still say her chances in that case were, I'll give her 27% when he's in human form. When we go to Dog Pound form, I'll actually increase her chances because he was he was becoming depressed before he turned into Razar, so he was so slow and lumbering. So let's give him, as Dog Pound, let's give him a, like I said, when he was human, she had a 27% chance. Did I say 27%? Well, I'm going with 27%. 27% chance of taking him out, which still gave him about because I'm terrible at math, give me a second, what, 77% chance? No, 73% chance, if I'm not mistaken, I'll put the actual numbers up on screen so that you know, but 73% chance overall of victory when he's human. As Dog Pound, I'm going to increase her chances to a whopping, let's go with 49%. Yeah, he's only got 51% chance because he's so big and lumbering and therefore is going to be slowed down a lot. So I'd say her chances are good. As for when he's Razar, yeah, I'm going to give him a way better chance as Razar. Razar, his chances actually jump back up and over all the way to, let's give him, because I don't think he's bulletproof in any of his forms. So let's give him an 89% chance. All she needs is one good shot. So I'll give her chances. Overall, Bradford wins, but given these three forms, I'd say, again, all Ross needs is one good shot. I don't know how good a shot she is. She's not Hawkeye, obviously. No, not that Hawkeye. This Hawkeye. Point is, either way, although, again, either way, I would, honestly, if it was either of those Hawkeyes, I would actually bet on them over Bradford, but that's just me. Point is, I'm giving this one to Bradford, even though I kind of don't want to. He was kind of a dick, but I think he would win. But if chance came to it, I think she might be able to win if she just got in one good shot. That's all she needs. First new combatant is Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, glad I pulled that one. All right, who else we got? Come on, give me somebody good. And our second combatant is the letter U. I apparently didn't do as good a job when it came to filtering this thing as I thought. Hold on just a second. Rey from the new Star Wars trilogy. I don't know which fandom would be more pissed at having their character lose. And I will say, I'm one of the people who liked the new Star Wars trilogy. Do I like it as much as the other two trilogies? Hell no. But I still enjoyed it. I was entertained by it. As for which one of these two wins in a fight, I take it back. We have a new, more even fight. I don't really know who would win this one. And it's because, not just because I'm ignorant. I honestly don't know who would win this one. I mean, and here's the issue here. If it's close quarters, I think Rey would win. No doubt in my mind, close quarters, Rey would take Toph out. However, and this is the biggest problem, Toph would be more than likely able to keep Rey at a distance. Now, granted, Rey has telekinesis, so that's a big advantage, and a lightsaber, that's also a big advantage. But, you know, it's hard to say. If Toph... Okay, here's what... I'm going to give this a tie and say it's a 50-50 right now. But if Toph was able to get Rey close... keep Rey at a distance. If Toph was able to keep Rey at a distance, I think that could work. I think we would be fine. If Rey got in close and it was able to hit her with a powerful force move or use the lightsaber, I think she would win. Again, the win condition isn't necessarily to kill the opponent in this case, but you know what I mean. Like, just... You know, I mean, theoretically, she might be able to knock her out from a distance if she used something like Force Choke and did so until she passed out from asphyxiation. But I don't know how good a long-term battle strategy that actually is. I think that move, you either need to be really good at it or be very good at concentration. And in battle, I don't know how well either. I mean, again, Darth Vader, but Darth Vader was Darth Vader. So that's an entirely different bag of shells with that character. But anyway, that was Toph versus Rey. Yeah, way more even in my opinion than you would think. But anyway, let's go with some new character. Let's go with this. This is the last one actually. This is the end of the video essentially. I mean, not the actual end. Don't stop watching. Please keep watching if you've gotten up to this point. But anyway, yeah, let's see who do we have? Come on, give me something good. Give me something good. Come on. Come on. Yes. Hold on just a second. I've got two pieces of paper when I tried to go for one. That's what happens. Some of these get caught on other pieces of paper. But anyway, we've got Bakugo from My Hero Academia. Oh boy, I feel bad for his opponent. And his opponent is, on second thought, maybe not. His opponent is Darth Vader. Holy shit! Of all the characters, I did not expect Vader to be in one of these fights. And against Bakugo, no less. Oh, man. I don't know. I mean, okay, so here's a couple of questions. So, because would the Force be available to Bakugo? Now, in the fight, no. But I feel like Vader would be more likely to try and make Bakugo his apprentice than anything else. Because he's so angry. And if anybody could discipline Bakugo, I feel like it might be Vader. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just a pipe dream, but I could totally see it. Somebody should write a fan fiction about this. I would read it, I swear. I think Vader could bring Bakugo to heel. But as for a straight up fight, I mean, yeah, he's obviously really strong and really good at hand-to-hand combat, but and he's got fire and explosions, and can basically fly, but Vader has telekinesis, can force choke, and is a very competent swordsman with the lightsaber. So, I don't know. Not to mention, while Vader isn't as fast, obviously, which would be Bakugo's, in my opinion, biggest advantage, no, it would not be the really stupidly huge explosions. Let's be honest. We've seen Vader survive some pretty intense shit across most media, even discounting the stuff. Even if discounting all of the visual, like the TV shows and movies like we've seen him in, if we take into account just something like, say, the comics show that his suit's pretty freaking durable, honestly. It took a pretty constant stream of electricity from Palpatine to actually kill him. And considering some of the other stuff I've seen him survive in the comics and in the other shows, I think he could take Bakugo. I'm not biased. I mean, maybe I'm a little biased, but the thing is, I think he could honestly win. However, I'm not going to shortchange Bakugo here. I'm going to give Bakugo a whopping 37%, which might not seem very high to you, but I think that's fairly high against Darth freaking Vader. Again, that's who he's fighting. I think Vader would take it. I don't think I'm biased in what I say. I think Vader would win. However, it would be way more even a fight than you would think. I think that, Bakugo keeps himself at a distance, blasts with constant explosions. He might be able to do some serious damage. Maybe even seriously damage Vader's respirator. Who knows? That's the big thing you want to hit. More than any other part of, the suit or any part of the cybernetics, you want to hit Vader's respirator, because that's his big weakness, his inability to breathe without the suit. There are a lot of other problems without the suit, but he needs it to breathe. So if you do that, you might have a chance. But even then, eventually Bakugo's going to tire out, and Vader... Pain and anger are just going to make him stronger in the Force, so he might be able to compensate and beat Bakugo. It's basically a battle of wills and a battle of endurance, and let's be honest, both of these characters have those things in spades. So it's a lot more even than you would think. I'm going to be honest. I'm tempted to give it a tie even, but I feel like Vader would come out on top in the end. You know what? I'm upping Bakugo's chances from 37% to 42%. That's right. Vader still comes out with 58% on top and a win, but I think Bakugo's chances are pretty freaking good. I don't know. Is it just me? Do I kind of want to see this fight? Somebody animate this, or I don't know, write a fan fiction. This is a good idea. I honestly think it would be a really cool fight. I think Bakugo would get destroyed, but man, it would be an awesome fight. Anyway, Anyway, I think that's the end of the video. I can only go on for so long. I've been gushing about this one. This one has been my favorite so far. I think I need to edit the hat a little bit. I think I need to make a few changes, but otherwise, I had a good time with this. I hope you guys had a good time with this. I think this was fun. Oh, the relationship thing. I forgot the relationship thing. Okay, well, let's say Bakugo... I mean, Bakugo isn't really interested in relationships from what I've seen, so... That's not a thing, and as for Vader, nobody for him but Padme, so yeah, I'd say that there'd be nothing there. Wow, 90% of these, that relationship thing didn't even come up, because, you know, most of them just wouldn't be the case. I guess that's it. Anyway, this is Mike, Ringmaster of the Imagination Circus, and I hope you all had a good time. I know I did. I thought this was very interesting. I'll obviously have to make a few changes in the future, specifically to some of the candidates coming out of the hat. I feel like I need to narrow it down to the ones I know very, very well so that I can talk about them a little bit more. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little experiment, and if you do feel so inclined, please do visit me again in the future. Thank you, and have a good day.